on the good side, just cannot miss a pass. It was not that tough a serve.
4-4 is our score in Baltimore. And into the net. A lot of service errors so far, Paul. Both
very, very much a lack of rhythm to this game so far early. Nobody long having to go through long side-out streaks, even though we had 14 early.
Follow Fonoy from behind. Plenty of time left in this one.
11 service errors overall so far, and we're at 4-4. Look at
Jose Loyola with the blast. He loves this hard pack. Fans like that kind of a shot. Who doesn't? Wow.
This is as good as it gets. Look at that, getting his head over the net, and Ludy's just not taking enough angle. I'm not sure who could.
I tell you, Ricky's little pit hairs must be tingling because that one went right by in the Old Spice area.
So you can't reach up with a hitter like Loyola. You got to get over and take away angles.
Johnson ready to receive. Here comes Ricky Luyties in a 4-4 tie. Pretty good set.
Okay, you got it.
Right back to Johnson. Partner against old partner. And Johnson cuts it inside.
Well, I think Fonoi's got to be breaking on that ball. AJ's outside the antenna. I'm not sure that he had any shot available down the line whatsoever. Watch where AJ is when he hits this ball. He's looking at his partner. No, that was inside the antenna. He could have pokeyed that down the line.
And we have Eric Fonoimoana now going over to the beach doctor, and he is, I think, received some salt tabs.
That or some nutrients of some sort, and he's going to try to drink as much water as he possibly can.
And he's going to call a medical timeout. We just heard him say, I want a medical timeout. So we're just under 5 minutes to go in our semifinal. We're tied 4-4, and Fonoy has clinched at the Nestea Open. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, 4-4 tie. 4:59 to go in the game. Eric Fonoimoana just accepted a 3-minute medical timeout. He's back out onto the court. As Paul told you, he may be cramping, and he's looking a little shaky right now. Loyola trying the impossible shot, and he would have been better served just to bump it right back over to Fonoimoana.
To Fonoy, make Fonoy work as hard as he possibly has to, but there's no maybe about it. I mean, Ricky went over, sought out the beach doctor and said, look, my partner's cramping. He went out and got some salt tablets or some other nutrients. That's why they took the medical timeout. I'm not sure I like Fonoy jump serving here unless he's just in a real hurry to get this match over with. I would stay down and try to work through the cramps. Not much lift off there.
Little tap shot, and Johnson jukes it out of bounds. Sometimes it can be very disconcerting. I know when I played, you play against a guy with cramps, mentally you're not trying as hard. You're trying to guide the ball to him. You're not hitting hard.
I agree.
It's very tough to stay in there sometimes.
The only change you want to make is when you go back to serve, you just make sure you get him each and every ball. Otherwise, put it out of your mind and just play your game.
You know, there was an old school of thinking. Fonoimoana is the guy that's cramping. There's an old school of thinking that used to be around early times. Serve the partner. Serve Luyties and make the cramper run over there. It's more work to run over and try to set the ball, bend down to set, than it is to pass the ball and walk straight up and hit.
Yeah, this is easy motion for him.
Yeah.
Just walking straight lines, taking a swing. I agree with that. You serve his partner really tough and make him make big, explosive moves using a lot of strength, a lot of muscle fiber, a lot of energy to chase down a bad pass. That's how you're going to have better success wearing him out.
Plus, when you go down to set with your hands, you must bend your legs, so you might be able to get a cramp right there. Here's Ludy serving. His team leading by 1, 5-4.
And line.
Come on. You know, there's been a lot of flu, and you talked about it, Chris, during the medical timeout, going throughout the tour. We talked about Scott Akatevi. Canyon Seaman told me all week he'd been feeling poorly. And maybe Fonoy getting a little touch of that as well, because just look at him. He's in great shape. He trains really, really hard. And yesterday was a forgiving day. It's hot here today, but yesterday, you know, it was maybe in the high 70s, and it wasn't hot conditions at all, really, relative to what the players are used to.
We mentioned Eric Fonoimoana, the youngest of 6 children. His entire family, mother, father, and 6 kids, graduated from the same high school in California, Miracosta High School. Give you the punchline on that in a second. Fonoy, nice play. And Luyties puts it away. Timeout. We'll get back to the end of that Fonoimoana story. He may be hurt, but his team is leading 6-4 at the moment. Harbor View, the Nestea Open here in Baltimore. Fonoy and Luyties holding a 2-point lead over Adam Johnson and Jose Loyola. We told you that Fonoimoana won his first and only tournament here last year. Well, a couple days ago, Paul Sunderland talked with Fonoy about that win.
Action going on behind us here in Baltimore, and of course last year it was a first-year sight, and it was also the first time ever in the victory stand, at least the top of it, for Eric Fonoimoana. Little butterflies, a little special feeling in your stomach coming back to this site this year, Eric?
I don't know about butterflies. It's more or less excitement, remembering the things that went on, how I obtained my first victory, and tons of excitement. I'm just glad to be here.
I remember last year, of course, it was very emotional for you. We had a chance to talk after the match. You won with Scott Akatubby. Your girlfriend was waiting for you back at the airport. How special is that feeling, and how hungry are you to have it once again?
Well, it's a feeling that it's hard to put in words. It's one that you've always dreamed about, one that you've always worked hard for, and it's joy is probably the perfect word for it, and I love it.
How long before you win your next one? And you know, you're still relatively new to this tour. What are your goals over the next 4 or 5 years? Because this thing just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Consistency is the #1 goal right now I have, and that's consistency in the top 7, pushing to 5, and then eventually going all the way to the #1 ranking. But it's a gradual process. I'm not, in my mind, ready to jump into the #1 ranking. I think I got some things to work on my game.
All right, that was Eric Fonoimoana talking about his win last year. Of course, that was recorded first day of the tournament.
Very soft-spoken Eric Fonoimoana, and you know, it's hard to you see him thinking about it a year after the fact, and how joyful, in his own words, he was. He said, "Hey, I am stoked for life," when he won here last year, of course, with Scott Akatubby.
Ricky Luyties to send it up, his team leading 6-5. And the ball is out of bounds. So Jose Loyola, dressed in black, set to serve it. Will he go after Luyties? Third year for Loyola. And he indeed goes after Luyties. And Ricky snaps it inside. 6-5 is our score. Just to cap off the Eric Fonoimoana story, after he won that tournament, he dedicated the win to his mother that was killed in a bus accident Thanksgiving Day, 1988. He had a party. He bought dinner for 18 friends at a restaurant. Someone told me that his best friend, Albert Hanneman, ordered steak and lobster, really to run up the bill on him. The bill was almost $600 for Fonoimoana.
Yeah, but he won $10,000 over the weekend, and that was an entertainment expense, Fonoy would say now. So no problem with a little celebration.
3:49 to go in the game, 6-5, an intriguing semifinal. Eric Fonoimoana battling through cramps, trying to hang in, and he's doing a pretty good job of it.
Very little liftoff right now for Fonoimoana, just really pulling himself up off the sand with his very strong upper body and a lot of willpower right now.
So Fonoy will stay at the net. Or will he? It looks like Fonoy is going to go into the backcourt and allow Ricky Luyties to assume most of the blocking.
Oh, Ludy should block all the time.
Yes, especially now. And there goes Ricky to the net. 6-5 our score. Johnson. And Johnson whacks it cross court. Nice shot.
The problem now, of course, is Fonoy is just out there in the warm, hot sun here in Baltimore, humidity baking him, and it's the only time you can get liquids, of course, is during the side changes or if you take a 20-second timeout. And I think he should be using those. I think he should be powering fluids right now and not worry so much about saving your 20s for the end of the match.
Jose with a dig. Can he convert? Looking to tie it up. Double contact.
Ludy's never touched it on the block.
Pretty good play by Ricky Luyties.
Tight set. Loyola going up against Luyties, looking as if he was going to joust the ball, and then the knuckle poking never cleared by Loyola. Here's a play right there. You can see Loyola just trying to poke the ball straight down.
Paul, Ricky is saying you can't open hand dig. We had that call last week.
He didn't, though. It looked like he had it with a knuckle.
I think Ricky was saying he took it with his hand and tried to shove it like Akatubby did last week.
Maybe Ricky's eyes were closed.
Maybe. 6-5 our score, and Johnson tapping it down the line. So Adam Johnson, been a pro for 5 years. He told me once he has 6 different jump serves. But interestingly, he never jump served in college. And of course, winning the King of the Beach last year has really elevated his status on tour. And into the top of the net. Service error is really mounting for these teams.
Huge numbers. There was 11 early. We'll check those again in just a second. Now we're up to 15. And speaking of double digits, Adam Johnson has now been served a dozen straight times. Everybody avoiding Loyola.
Fonoy can't get there. So Fonoy, slow motion on defense, trying to run it out, could not.
I mean, Fonoy is feeling the cramps, right? He's not feeling real great. Don't you think it would be worth a couple of 20-second timeouts right now just to power a couple of bottles of water?
Maybe. Maybe. He's doing pretty well, though. You know?
He can fight his way through it if he can replenish some fluids a little bit.
Short. Yeah.
Ricky, little think. Loyola's got it. On the right side. And Luyties. Good dig. Luyties. Cut! Yes! Yeah, Ricky's finesse shots look pretty darn good today.
I'll tell you, he is carrying his team right now. He knows his partner is under the weather, and Ricky has really raised the level of his game. Playing exceptional defense and nice little cutting here. This is the one that Loyola gets to, but this is the key right there, the nice overhand dig. Nothing wrong with that play. It stays, pops right out of his hands, and then Luyties with a good cutty to beat Loyola in the cross court.
Fonoy with the serve. It's 6-5. His team leading. Johnson. Oh, almost. Fonoy trying the foot dig, which is perfectly legal outdoors and indoors now. A new rule indoors has made that play below the waist. We chatted with some Canadian referees just the other day on our international travails. You can kick it up, knee it up, calf it up, any way you want. I like that rule, don't you?
Yeah.
Here's Luyties, and Luyties punches it through.
Boy, Fonoy continues to set the ball extremely well from both the good and the bad side. But Fonoy still has to be hurting a little bit. He's not fought through these cramps altogether. He was playing defense in the angle the play before, never even bent his knees.
Doing a good job, though. He's not wasting a lot of movement, not talking it up. Just do your thing. So now Luyties to serve with a 1-point lead. 2 minutes, 54 seconds to go in the game. Whitmarsh and Dodd will play the winner of this one.
13 straight going to AJ.
Luyties. Back to AJ. And a little looper down the line.
That's a good deep shot. They're serving Adam Johnson, but I don't think they're serving him tough enough. He's passing the ball right to the net. Easy setting opportunities for Loyola. Good dig again by Ricky Luyties. This one goes straight back. And Fonoy breaks on that one, gives up the loopy over his head.
Good play by Fonoy to go and get it. And Fonoy is not jumping. Luyties is, however, and he creams it.
Smart play by Fonoy, just tapping it up into the block of Adam Johnson. In trouble right here, no lift off. And then just, here you go, partner. Whip it, and whip it good.
6 serving 5, back on AJ.
Line.
And down the line goes Johnson. So Johnson just tapping it around the block.
And Loyola doing a good job setting here right now, but certainly no great degree of difficulty. They're just lobbing the ball. That is Fonoimoana and Luyties to Adam Johnson, who's certainly one of the tour's best passers. You got to serve Adam much, much tougher.
Serving Luyties, and he gets the ace.
Making Fonoy run, and he can't, or at least very hesitant to bend his knees to go down into the sand for that low ball.
Make the cramper run. An old-time beach volleyball philosophy. It's 6-6. I tell you told me that once. Steno Brunicardi, one of the legendary volleyball players. There's another ace by Adam Johnson. We got to take time out. I got to catch my breath. It's 7-6. AJ Loyola.
Back to back to back, and really putting heat on Eric Fonoimoana, serving him down the line and making him run by serving his partner Ricky Luyties. Very tough cross court as well.
8 serving 6 as Adam Johnson sets to drive one here, trying to get in his first final of the year along with Jose Loyola. Luyties, bouncing time. Wow.
Little bounce for bounce with Jose Loyola. That might be one of the best bounces of the year. Loyola probably won't like to hear that. The master of the bongo bounce, and not a bad looking block either by Loyola. He was way over the net. Ludy just pounding from the right side.
Luyties serving Johnson. It's 8-6. Johnson, and Johnson tapping it down the line.
Yeah, I don't like Fonoy blocking. It's going to wear him out.
Don't like him chasing too much either, though, do you?
Well, you know, when you're cramping, you got to take some chances. I think they got to serve much, much tougher in spite of the fact that they're on the bad side. They've given up 4 straight points. Fonoy's really struggling right now.
Ludy's right to Loyola. Jose looking for the bomb. Instead, the roll shot, and he scores. So Jose Loyola, Adam Johnson have assumed command. A 6-6 tie has turned into a 9-6 lead for AJ and the Sun Worshippers in Baltimore, Maryland. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland. This is Harbor View, a quaint little site for beach volleyball. We're in semifinal action. Eric Fonoimoana, who's hurting with cramps with Ricky Luyties, playing against Adam Johnson and Jose Loyola. Fonoy and Ricky led early. We're tied at 6, but now Johnson and Loyola have gone ahead. You see some of the numbers for AJ, and he's serving Fonoy. I guess not much percentage in serving the jump serve on the bad side.
No, especially with this lead. And they've noticed that Fonoimoana is struggling physically, and particularly on the last play, looked very stiff-legged. No real explosiveness involved in Fonoy right now. So just be patient, get 1 or 2 on the bad side if you can, and then end it on the good side.
Fonoy trying to crank it up now. Here comes Loyola, and down the line he goes. Some of the other finishers today, Karai Akatebi finished 4th when Akatebi could not continue because of sickness. Stoklos and Anginho in 5th, along with Bill Bouillon and what is that name? Brian Lewis. Brent Frohoff, Rob Heidrich.
Beef and Louie.
Beef Louie. Canyon Seaman Jeff Rogers got a 7th. And Fonoy puts it straight down in 9th. Troy Tanner, Wes Welch, Jim Nichols, Pat Powers, Kevin Martin, Chris Young, Mark Cairns, Andrew Smith. And we'll try to show you more of those a little bit later. (9-6) is our score. Johnson and Loyola are leading. Good serve there. Nice out of the net by Loyola. And Fonoy pokes it up. Can he put it down? He needs a point. He needs a point. And he gets it.
Fonoy continues to give you a great effort, of course, walking on the same court from his first victory, a historic moment for him, and doesn't want to go out with a whimper. Fonoy certainly not going to do that. Nice little one-arm stab here. And then for the score, and they had been stuck on 6 for a long, long time.
Minute 39 to play. Still plenty of time for a comeback. Johnson. And Johnson left hands it gently down the line. So a good play for Adam Johnson.
Side out to Johnson and Loyola.
AJ. Looks like AJ's going to stay back this time and let Loyola go up and do some blocking.
Working on Fonoy short.
Come on!
And AJ can't get there. Pretty good spin shot.
See, AJ and Loyola basically, have this game won as long as they take care of siding out.
But they're on the bad side.
Agreed.
So
That's the point. They got this game won as long as they can get through this trip on the bad side and get to the good side with still a lead. They need to work on getting to 11 so they get the 11-9 switch, and by then be very little time left.
Fonoy and Ludy's trailing by 2. Loyola, chance for a point. Ricky turns around.
Hard one to find. The radar, the antenna's up just in time to locate that set as it was blowing around.
I'll tell you, he's got a lot of confidence in this cut shot.
I'll tell you, look at this. He looks at the opposition and just cuts AJ off.
8 serving 9. Fonoy. Loyola going with heat. Say, when he hits it like that, there's nobody on tour. I don't even think they can touch it.
Whitmarsh can, if he hits it down into his hands.
Loyola, the 1993 Rookie of the Year. He'll station himself at the net. It's 9-8. Johnson and Loyola by 1. 1:14 to go. Fonoy. And Fonoy feeling a little bit better. Ball on the rope in the corner. So Fonoy trying to work through it. It's going to be a tough final, however, if he does make it through. We've seen that a lot. A guy guts it out, makes it through, squeezes out a victory, then he gets slaughtered at the end as Ludy gets the ace, and it's 9-9.
Look at that. Ludy's really raising the level of his game. Like to see it for Ricky. This was a team that struggled a couple of weeks ago, and people were saying, well, maybe Fonoimoana ought to play with somebody else, and they bounced back, finished third in Atlanta last week, and now tying it, even though Fonoimoana's under the weather.
I tell you, Ricky Luyties, I think, is playing the best volleyball of this year. I don't think I've seen him play better. He's hitting, he's blocking, he's playing defense, serving.
Look at the shots he's making. 16 out of the 18 points on the board have been scored from the good side, so that's certainly having a big effect out here during the course of the semifinal match.
9-9 is our score now. Minute 4 to play in the game. Johnson and Loyola are on the bad side. And really a critical factor here. If it's 10-10, Johnson and Loyola will win this one. If it's 11-9, when Fonoy and Luyties go over, you see the serving errors mounting up.
And with only a minute 3 left, if Fonoy and Luyties can get the 11-9 side change before they go over to the bad side, I think they got a chance to pull it out.
Johnson to serve, 9-9 tie. Boy, serving it awfully easy. Here comes Fonoy, and Fonoy chops it inside.
And between all of these players, 18 service errors altogether.
If you're Luyties and Fonoy, do you float serve a little now and try to keep the ball, run the clock a little so you stay on the good side?
That's a thought, but a minute is a long time. A minute of playing time, that's a lot of side outs. I'm not sure Fonoy can last that long.
Fonoy blocked it, and Luyties, he hit it over, and troubled Johnson running for it. He stumbled and could not make the play.
Didn't look like that tough a chance, but I think in this brisk wind, the ball just changed direction like an outfielder trying to track this ball down. You can see the flags blowing up at the top of the screen. The shot here, and it looked like it just changed direction on AJ.
Not exactly the greatest choice by Luyties to bump it over there,
I think he was saving his partner. I think he was just trying to save his partner a jump.
10-9 now. Luyties and Fonoy by 1. They've scored 4 in a row. AJ, got to put it down, and he does. AJ and Loyola up 9-6 just moments ago, but Fonoimoana and Luyties fighting back to take a 10-9 lead with 45 seconds to play.
Here's an interesting thought for you. I'll ask you after this point.
Okay. Fonoy, and off AJ.
Do AJ and Loyola give up a point on purpose right now to get to the good side? Do they get to the good side and then try to win it with their own jump serving?
They could.
Hey, time's winding down. 38 seconds.
See, if I'm Fonoy and Ricky right now, I float serve. I don't jump serve. Just keep it in play. Let the clock run. 36 seconds, a 1-point lead. Johnson, rejected! Loyola goes and gets it. He's got to put it down now. And he does. But Fonoy got his knuckle on it, which caused a few more seconds to run off. 28 seconds to play. Loyola and Luyties are ahead by 1.
Good block by Ricky Luyties, who again continues to play so well. And Fonoy, if he can poke that ball with some real altitude and continue the rally, that might have sewn it up, even though they're only up by 1.
Johnson going to float serve, and he's into the net. Wow. And so now, Fonoimoana and Luyties look like they're in very good position.
And once again, the wind really coming up, Chris. You got to start thinking about with only this amount of time left. But, you know, you're only down 1.
How about serving it up? Float serve.
Yeah.
Luyties going with the jumper. He's leading 10-9.
Tight pass.
Loyola got it. You know, well, your strategy is very interesting to get back on that other side, but Loyola and Johnson, they don't have much time left. 23.5 seconds.
Well, see, they're only down by 1 now. And when you think about it, if they can score here, obviously you'd rather go to the good side. Tied.
Loyola serving. Big play here. Clock is running. 10-9. Fonoy. And Loyola has it up. Can he put it away? He's charging. He's charging. Luyties on the drive. Oh, he did it! They called a net on Luyties, and we're tied up at 10.
Adam Johnson taking a chance, trying to set that ball up into the breeze, and gets an unbelievable gift from Ricky Luyties. Fonoy trying to muster whatever he can to put this ball away. Good dig by Loyola up into the stratosphere. AJ comes off his arms very high. And
boy,
there,
that must have been a micro. I didn't see it.
Well, he didn't argue about it. After the call was made by Brant Lee, Ricky Luyties just walked dejectedly to the sidelines. Didn't argue for a second. It must be AJ's birthday.
13 seconds to play. We are tied at 10. Don't go away. This tee open, 13 seconds to go. A 10-10 tie. They're working on AJ. We are back. 13 and 2/10 seconds to play. Johnson and Loyola got a big break on the net by Luyties, and now they appear to be in command. They're on the good side, although AJ looked like he was walking very, very gingerly during that last timeout. Loyola serving. A point would win it in the aces.
3 points in this match scored from the good side. Before the side switched to get to 10-10, the point scored by Loyola and AJ was the first one from the bad side since we were tied at 2-all, but Loyola comes through with a big jump serve down the line.
11.5 seconds to play now. 11-10 Loyola.
And his first ace of the match.
Here comes Ricky. He's got to put it away fast. Loyola pops it up. Clock is running. 5 seconds. If he keeps it in play, the match is over. He puts it away.
Loyola celebrating, but his partner Adam Johnson walking very, very gingerly back to his position and just signaled over to the doctor sitting at courtside that he's going to need some attention when this match is over. Adam Johnson has had a strained abdominal muscle, and he's had a strained groin throughout the course of this year.
Loyola was going to send it up. Johnson said no. Pretty good idea. Once it hits his hand,
over. This match is over.
Time is out. Only thing is the resulting score, and that will do it. So a great semifinal as AJ and Jose, Loyola and Johnson outlast Ricky Luyties.